Our next speaker is Sarah McKinney. She's talking about the power of relationships. Sarah McKinney is the president and CEO of the Athens Area Community Foundation. For the past 7 years, she has worked to grow giving for the community. In real life, she loves anything outdoors, food, puppies, and humans. Will Ferrell and Eminem are her alter egos, and she insists avocados are a food group. Hebrews 13:2 would be top of mind verse from the Bible. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. As a member of the Rise and Shine community, she loves that we are brief, bright, and have bold intentions to pursue our goals. Today, Sarah will share a talk on the power of relationships, which will encourage you to pull your gratitude into action in all you do. Give a round of applause for Sarah.
Good morning, everybody. In your workbooks, there's 3 key words: kindness, humility, and vulnerability, and I'll go ahead and check off 2, humility and vulnerability. I'm straight up lying if I don't tell you my watch is telling me to calm down. It's like you're stressed out. Every time I speak, my heart rate's like over 120 miles per hour. So if I sound like I'm shaking a little bit, it's because I am. And I've decided, I speak somewhat regularly, and every time I'm more nervous, and I've decided that's maybe hopefully my respect for the audience. I don't want to waste your time. And then both humility and vulnerability, my favorite memory of public speaking is the time I had a dryer sheet and underwear stuck inside my pants. And that is a true story. I thought I had a bunched up sock, and then I realized I wasn't wearing socks. May that not happen to you. About 25 years ago, I fell in love with nonprofit businesses, and I've started saying today, the community is my customer, and I live and breathe nonprofits, and it's my passion. And 20 plus years ago, Angela was a customer on our Meals on Wheels route who really shaped the way I think about relationships. Angela was this beautiful woman that when she answered the door for her meal on Route 5 on the west side of Athens, both her hands were truly crippled inward with rheumatoid arthritis. In her mid-50s, she was on a fixed Social Security disability income in a high rent community, really struggling day to day. And if you didn't know any better, down the hall of her 2-bedroom, 1-bath house was her mom in her 80s, bedbound with Alzheimer's. And Angela just always smiled, and it just blew my mind. And in that Meals on Wheels world is where I just really learned the power and the intersection of faith and food and friendship, and all that we have to offer one another in service. And that part of my career path is where I learned my favorite quote from a mentor of mine: relationships are primary, all else is derivative. You'll see in the book, I share that quote, and I really don't know who to attribute it to. When I first learned about it, someone at the Kellogg Foundation was cited, but I really don't know who to give it to, so I'll just give it to the world. Relationships are primary, all else is derivative. A quick activity. I want you to take a moment and pop open the page of my talk here and think briefly about a leader in your life, someone who might need a lift, someone you'd love to share gratitude for, and just write their name down. We're going to come back to that. Before I close, we'll take a moment to share gratitude with that relationship. The reminder that your words are incredible power, not only to the people that you know, but more importantly to yourself. I truly believe that gratitude and appreciation undergird every relationship that we have. They're essential to the way we start, maintain, and grow our relationships, for better or for worse. Some of that sounds kind of hokey, but we can think of relationships that are not easy, and we can think of relationships that are like butter. Both should have gratitude expressed. I think we could all agree that some of our most difficult relationships are actually where we've learned the best. We won't go into that today. In my current role at the Community Foundation, I get the opportunity to work with just all kinds of different people. And for many years, I would just kind of get really frustrated by not having the time to properly appreciate And my coworker, Kipper, at the time was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. She called me out, and I really appreciate that. A new favorite quote is, feedback is oxygen. Steal that. And she gave me feedback and was like, why are we not starting and leading every week, every meeting in gratitude? So one simple action that I would love to share with you that we do at our community foundation, and I have a couple of coworkers here, and you're welcome to ask if I'm lying or not. We start every week and every staff meeting in gratitude. So we'll go around, we literally say good morning, share something positive from that week, some way we felt we contributed to that mission, and then we each think of somebody to write an authentic thank you note to. We go around the table and we share that person's name and why it is we want to share gratitude, and then we pause for about 5 minutes. We make a note of that in our customer relationship management system because processes are just as important as habits. But leading each week and each staff meeting with that one activity, I think sets the stage for any business. So if there's one thing I would love for you to think about doing, it's starting your week or starting your staff meetings. Or if you're a solopreneur or you're not building a business, start your week period thinking about someone that you can share gratitude with. I estimate we probably pen at least 1,200 thank you notes a year. Have y'all ever got a thank you note in the mail instead of a stinking power bill? You're like, geez, please, that felt good. Pop that gratitude in the mail. If you can't do a note, do a text message. Another thing that I try to do every morning is I'm happy to not wear makeup. If you see me in the grocery store, you won't recognize me because it's a hot mess, but I enjoy putting on my makeup in the morning, and I actually, every time I put on my makeup, think of one woman always that I can share a quick note to, and I'll text message. And it's really not about me and like giving as much as it's, you never know what's on the receiving end of somebody and thinking about one another. So just take a moment in your morning, like who's somebody you can just pop quick a text and lift up. I guarantee you'll feel better on the back end of the receiving of that. So it's another quick thing to do. Right now I'm reading James Clear, Atomic Habits. Amy was actually citing him this morning. Has anybody read Atomic Habits? It's good stuff. I think that one's going to have to be on repeat in my life. And according to a study out of Duke University, James tells us that 40% of our behaviors on any given day actually are our habits. So I'll say that a different way. Habits account for 40% of our behaviors on any given day. Again, for better or for worse. I can tell you a laundry list of bad habits that inform a good part of my every single day. For example, I always have 82 more seconds at any given moment. Like, and then I'm a hot mess rolling in somewhere. But then a good habit, I think, can become, like I said, starting your day in gratitude. Again, this is about the power of relationships, but I think there is no relationship without gratitude and appreciation. The second thing that I would love for you to think about is in your business or in your personal life, how are you staying top of mind, top of flow? One of my favorite mentors that I looked up to looked me in the eye one day and was like, you got to remember, nobody is sitting around thinking about your business. And I was like, oh, yeah, they are. No, they're not. Nobody, for the most part, is sitting around thinking about your business. So how do you stay top of mind, top of flow? I think a lot of that comes with what is your process for gratitude, your process for relationships that is authentic, it's genuine, but you know what it is and you know what your expectation is for your customer experience. So let me give you an example of that. In a nonprofit, we are led by a board of directors. Boards are not sitting around necessarily thinking about the mission and the vision that I live every single day. So how do we stay top of mind, top of flow with the people that are truly in charge of leading our business? I learned through our Rise and Shine Mastermind about a technology that I think you all would love called Loom, L-O-O-M. Anybody use Loom? It's a fantastic technology piece. Allows you to do brief, bright, and be gone 4-minute videos and give people a quick update. So every Friday morning, I do a Loom video to our board of directors, sharing appreciation for something maybe a staff member did or something a board member led, and then 3 or 4 quick calls to action for their service. Top of mind, top of flow. We get somebody who's interested in our business at the Community Foundation. We Loom them a quick video instead of like open these 5 PDFs and read 4 paragraphs. Here's a brief, bright, and we're gone video on how to interact with us. Make your gratitude easy, make it genuine, and lean in in on your process. Has everybody heard the rule of 7? 7 times, 7 different ways, and 7 different places. You must share your gratitude and appreciation. That seems incredibly daunting, but think about all the different ways we can receive information. The phone, social media, a calendar hold, an email, an actual phone call. That's weird these days. But the ways in which we stay top of mind and top of flow really demand appreciation, information, appreciation again on repeat. So how are you messaging your business and messaging your customer experience to grow relationships in such a way that you've got at least a 7 times rule associated with what you're doing, which sounds incredibly exhausting, like I said, but the magic there is truly clarity. Y'all got to remember, as I do, and it's just like being in the gym, and we can tell I got some work to do, that repetition breeds action. Repetition breeds action that produces clarity. And I think one of our greatest challenges as women is we have so many different lanes we're moving in that oftentimes our clarity is not as clear. Andy Stanley says it best: the clearer the vision, the easier the decision. Relationships undergird just about every single, if not every single relationship that you, or decision that you'll make. So to put your relationships top of mind, you've got to have clarity for where you're going. I told you I'd come back to our activity. Look in your Jenny bags, your green bags. Look, you see what I did there, Jenny? Look for this blue postcard. I want to thank my dear friend Dana Doss for making these up. You'll hear from her in a little bit. I want you to take 3 minutes, write a note to that person on your paper, and I'll come back and close. 3 minutes. Angela, I told you about Angela. Angela is the place I learned the greatest amount of appreciation. So when I came back from maternity leave with my second daughter, Angela was really excited. She and I had seen each other regularly on that Meals on Wheels route, and she'd watched me grow, and she just loved seeing me get bigger in my pregnancy, and we just had a neat connection. She had a daughter herself. And when I came back from maternity leave, on my desk in my office was a beautiful Hallmark card from Angela, and inside was a $10 bill. Now remember, Angela lived on a fixed Social Security disability income. It was about $550 a month. So what's $10 of that monthly income? It's a lot of money. I panicked. I called her and I said, Angela, there's no way I can take this $10. No way. The policy and procedure handbook says absolutely not, and I'm not going to take it. And she said, baby, you are absolutely going to take that $10 because I wanted to give it to you, so don't take that away from me. Angela ended up passing away a couple years later, right after her mama, and I attended that beautiful funeral, and it was a positive and beautiful reminder that we all have something to give. And it's not always that we're in the rosiest of relationships, but we certainly have something to give, the brightest moments and even some of the most broken moments. So 2 actions I ask you to consider today is: how do you start each week and each time of meeting in gratitude? How do you define a plan for your customer experience that includes great appreciation? And there's 2 gifts that you can always give. One is your time, which is completely finite. There's only so much time. And one is your love, which is completely infinite. Bookend your relationship starting with yourself. And what can you thank you for today? Thank y'all.